All right. So, uh, one of the things that you were really curious about was Marvell technology.
Hmm.
And we wanted to really deep dive into that for you,
Yeah.
and specifically their play in data centers and AI.
Right.
And so we've got some financial reports, we've got some in-depth analysis, and
Yeah.
we're going to kind of see if the strategic shift that they've made is really paying off.
Yeah, what's so interesting about Marvell is that they're not like the big flashy names, in tech,
Right.
but they're making some really smart moves kind of under the radar.
Yeah, they're not about the hype, they're about the hustle.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
One of the things that really jumped out to me when I was looking at the research was just how drastically their business has transformed in just a few short years. I mean, you go back to just 2017, and they were heavily invested in consumer electronics,
Right.
like 62% consumer versus 38% infrastructure.
Yeah, and that's something as, someone looking at this, you get a little wary when you see that much reliance on consumer tech
Right.
because it's a fickle market. It changes so quickly, but businesses, especially in the data center world,
Yeah.
that's much more stable and predictable.
Right.
So I think by making that shift, that was brilliant on Marvell's part just to really reduce their risk.
It really does seem like it. And it's a complete 180. When you look at the numbers now from this past fiscal year, 2023,
Yeah.
88% of their revenue is now coming from infrastructure,
Wow.
with consumer electronics only accounting for 12%. But was simply switching from one market to another
Right.
the key to success here, or is there more to the story?
Well, I think swapping gears was definitely essential.
Yeah.
But the real genius is what they chose to focus on within infrastructure, and that's data centers and AI.
Okay.
And to really understand the scope of this in 2023,
Yeah.
40% of their revenue came specifically from data centers.
40%.
Yeah.
That's huge. And I know
Massive.
you're particularly interested in the AI angle.
For sure.
So break it down for us. Like, how is Marvell capitalizing on this AI wave?
Right.
Are they just supplying parts? Or is it more than that?
So they're supplying parts,
Okay.
but not just any parts. We're talking custom ASIC chips.
Okay.
And I want to make sure our listener understands what that means.
Mm.
These are application-specific integrated circuits. So basically, these are tailor-made microchips
Wow.
designed to optimize very specific tasks.
So instead of being a jack of all trades, they're becoming a master of one.
Exactly. And in the world of AI,
Yeah.
where speed and efficiency are absolutely paramount,
Right.
these custom ASIC chips are game changers.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
creating the hardware that makes this AI explosion possible.
And they're doing it on a huge scale, I imagine.
Absolutely.
It seems like, and speaking of things that are, kind of turning heads,
Yeah.
I was looking at the financial reports you sent over.
Right.
Marvell's data center revenue isn't just meeting expectations, it's exceeding them.
Yeah, and this is what I love about this story.
Yeah.
Investors love a good story, but what they really love is when a company can walk the walk. This isn't hype. This is translating into actual financial success.
Right.
They're building the road as opposed to, just being along for the ride.
So they've honed in on this data center AI focus.
Absolutely.
They've really, I guess laser focused in on that. But from the research, it seems like they've also been on a little bit of a shopping spree,
Yeah.
acquiring other companies left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the strategy there? It does seem like a lot of acquisitions, in a short amount of time.
It does.
So is this just a tech spending spree?
Yeah.
Or is there like a rhyme or reason to all this?
Yeah, no, it's definitely strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best way to think about it is
Yeah.
instead of, building everything in-house from the ground up,
Right.
which takes a lot of time, a lot of resources.
Yeah.
They're going out and they're acquiring companies that are already leaders in specific niches.
Oh, okay.
So it's like assembling this dream team of tech expertise.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
The dream team analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
So give us some specifics here. Who did they bring onto this dream team?
Sure.
And what are they bringing to the table?
So 3 key acquisitions that come to mind are Innovium,
Okay.
Inphi, and Aquantia.
Okay.
So Innovium, they're a powerhouse in cloud computing.
Okay.
Inphi brings deep expertise in high-speed data center platforms.
Gotcha.
And Aquantia is all about that high-speed networking.
Okay.
So you can see how each acquisition plugs into a very specific piece of this larger data center AI puzzle.
So these aren't random acquisitions at all. They
Right.
were laser focused on filling, specific gaps in their portfolio.
Exactly. And I think those acquisitions of Innovium and Inphi
Yeah.
really cement their commitment to this data center AI world.
It's all starting to make sense now.
Yeah.
They've got the focus. They're making really smart acquisitions, it seems like.
Right.
And their financials look strong.
Yeah,
But, no investment is a sure thing.
that's true.
Are there any risks or red flags that investors should be aware of when it comes to Marvell?
You're absolutely right. Every investment has risks.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at the bigger picture, Marvell seems really well positioned for continued growth.
Okay.
I mean, the demand for data centers and these AI solutions is only going to increase.
Right.
We are living in a world that is becoming increasingly reliant on data,
Yeah.
and Marvell is providing those essential building blocks to support that growth.
Yeah, it's almost like they had a crystal ball
Right.
and saw this future coming,
Yeah.
They made the right moves at the right time, and now they're reaping the benefits.
Exactly.
It really is a fascinating example of a company adapting to, such a rapidly changing technological landscape.
For sure.
And speaking of a changing landscape,
Yeah.
this kind of leads to a bigger question.
Right. The million-dollar question here.
What happens when all this technology that we're becoming so reliant on continues to evolve at this pace?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it,
It is.
We're not just building tools anymore.
Yeah.
We're building machines that can learn and adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And that has, implications that go way beyond, just having a faster phone or,
Right.
better search result.
Yeah, it's a fundamental shift. And like you said,
Yeah.
it forces us to really confront some larger implications here.
Yeah. What happens to jobs that, can be automated by AI?
Right. Are we going to have enough jobs?
Yeah.
How do we ensure that these incredibly powerful technologies that we're developing are used ethically? These aren't just questions for the tech industry to answer.
Right.
This is something that all society is going to have to grapple with.
It's a lot, but it's also, incredibly exciting at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
We are living in this time of unprecedented technological advancement.
Yeah.
And companies like Marvell are right there on the front lines, kind of shaping the future one microchip at a time.
It is. And that's what I think is so important for everyone to remember is
I
that we can't just kind of sit back and let technology dictate what the future is going to look like.
Yeah.
We have to be active participants in shaping that future.
Yeah.
And that starts with, understanding these trends,
Yeah.
asking these tough questions and having conversations like this.
Absolutely. We have to be informed and engaged. And I hope for our listener out there,
Yeah.
this deep dive has given you some new perspective on Marvell technology, their strategic moves,
Yeah.
and just how massive the potential is, but also, the challenges that come along with this data-driven, AI-powered future.
It's a wild ride, and we're just getting started.
And there you have it.
That's right.
Another deep dive in the books. Until next time, keep exploring,
Keep asking those questions.
keep asking questions, and as always, keep diving deeper.